So guys, let's solve problem 255 Fibonacci from the PB info. So we are given number 5 and we must print first 5 Fibonacci numbers. So if it was 7, we would put 7 Fibonacci numbers. So if you just Google what is a Fibonacci number, you can find a lot of information about Fibonacci sequence. But let me briefly explain it to you. The first two elements of the Fibonacci is always 1 and 1. And the third element is the sum of the previous two elements. So the 1 plus 1 is 2, so the third element is 2. So the next element will be the sum of these, which will be 3. So the next element will be the sum of these two numbers, which will be 5. The next element will be the sum of these numbers, which will be 8. The next is the sum of this number, which will be 13, and it goes on. So if you pay attention that we always have the third number and previous two numbers, like we have a number and previous two numbers, so we are dealing with 3 numbers. So let's start. Include IO stream using namespace std int main. So here guys, I want to create like f1, f2 and f3, where f1 is 1 at the beginning and f2 is also 1 at the beginning, because every time the first element is 1 and the second element is 1. So here the first element is 1 and the second element is 1, and I didn't set any value for f3. And then I need a variable n, and I will read my variable n, because if I read n, I must print n Fibonacci numbers. So here the number 1 and number 2 are special numbers. So if the number we have read is 1, you just print the first Fibonacci number, you just print 1. If n is 2, you will just print 1, then you'll put a space, and again you'll print 1. But if it's bigger than 1 and 2, then in this else I will make a loop where I will start from 3 and I will go until n. Why? Because if it's 1 and 2, I already did them. But if it's bigger than 2, then I will just start from 3, because 3 is the first number after 2, and I will continue until n. So if it is, first of all, you want to print first 2 Fibonacci numbers, and after this you want to put a space, and then you will say that third Fibonacci number is equal to the first Fibonacci number plus second Fibonacci number, and you want to print the value of the third Fibonacci number and put a space, because every time we put a space. So if it's bigger than 2, then we'll print the first 2 Fibonacci numbers, and I'll start my loop from 3 because I already printed 2 times 1, and then I will calculate the third element and print it. But after that you must shift your elements. So if this was the first Fibonacci number, this was the second, and this is the third, now this one will be first, this one will be second, and this one will be third. That's why we have to shift the numbers. So after printing this, I want to say that the first Fibonacci number is equal to the second Fibonacci number, and the second Fibonacci number is equal to the third Fibonacci number. So you copy the value of f2 inside of f1, and then you copy the value of f3 inside of f2. That's how you shift the numbers. Now let's send our solution. And we have an error here which says we didn't put if here. Yeah, because we can't have two else's. That's it, guys.